Hey, Blacktooth Claymation here. I'm going to show you how to make a Tecmo Bowl background with like a couple figures in it. I'm gonna go with the Raiders figures in this one, you know, because Tecmo Bowl was basically all about Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, so that's what's up. Yeah, I used a glass slider because glass sliders work really good on clay. I think they slide really well. Plastic sliders, I don't know. The rollers don't work very well. The plastic ones, they work. Whatever you got, use whatever you got. But I'm just saying, a glass slider from Guitar Center works really good. You can pick up on one of those. Once you got all of it rolled out, I'm doing about a 4x8 piece, and you just got to roll it a little wider than that. And then once it's rolled out, just cut your edges with a razor blade. I got a 3-inch one and just some regular razor blades too. I just use Sculpted clay, and you can also use Primo clay. The colors I used was emerald green with mixed with lime green for this color here I'm doing. And see, I'm just kind of working it out. If you got any bubbles, you just fill them up and work them out with your finger. Just playing some video games. But yeah, get it worked out there real good. And then I don't like to glaze these figures when I'm done either, because they don't look, I mean, Nintendo really never had shine to it, so they just look dull. I like that dull look. It's got kind of a neat look when they're dull like that. Because I gloss a lot of figures too, where like you can spray that auto clear coat on it or whatever. And so yeah, it's kind of getting hard working this all the way out there, but just got to be patient with it and just go. It took me about an hour for this piece. It's kind of a plain piece. I didn't want to go too crazy with it, but I'll put my 5-yard lines across here in a bit. And what I got for that is like I use a syringe that I got from Hobby Lobby, where they got these little adapters on the top, and like different fittings and stuff, like where it has a circle or a rectangle, but yeah, you can shoot that out the syringe, and then you got a long straight line. So I got some long straight lines of white, and I'll put those in for the 5-yard lines. And then after that, out of those lines, I'll cut a bunch of chunks, and then I'll cut those chunks in half, and those will be the 1-yard lines. They'll basically be about done and ready for the 2 figures I've put on. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. See, I just smear it out for the lines where the roller made some lines, so you just kind of smear it out with your finger, smooth it out good. You can take a razor blade and take little chunks of dust out if it ain't got any dust in it or something. That's another thing. Always keep some wet wipes on hand or some towels on hand, because your piece can get dirty if you don't. See, and I'm measuring it up with that's what I'm going to use for the shadow box, that size. So I need that to be the same size. So you kind of just measure it up like that and cut your edges. It got tricky there because it was sticking to the tape. Then you just smooth out the lines, like I said. Then we'll be ready to put the first line on. Yeah, Howie Long's probably the best on the defense on the Raiders, anyways. Lawrence Taylor was better for New York, though, I thought. But then again, Howie Long wasn't all hopped up on something. Or was he? I don't know. Wasn't that the story about Lawrence Taylor? He was all jacked up on... Or I don't know. They're all on crack. They're all a bunch of... The NFL's all on crack. No, I'm just kidding. I thought they tried to say something like that about Lawrence Taylor, though. Probably not true. But yeah, try to measure that up good, and then once you get it cut right, then you just kind of pull it up off the surface, because you want to make sure that it will lift up easy. You don't want it sticking to the surface when you're all done with your piece. So yeah, get that edge cut up there, make it look good. And after the piece is done, you can, after you bake it, you can sand it to make your edges a little better, because that's what I plan on doing too. I'll just sand it just a little bit, or you can cut it if you had to also. Generally, I'll just sand them a little bit on the edges. Some light sandpaper. Now those are the 5-yard lines. That's the second one. But yeah, it's just like I said, that syringe, that's what I was talking about with that syringe. You can just shoot straight lines out of there, and you don't have to roll it out and guess about it. Just got that at Hobby Lobby for probably, what, maybe $12 with the attachments. It'll save you a lot of time. It's worth the $12. No, I like Hobby Lobby. They got some neat stuff. That's kind of where I get my clay too. That Sculpty clay, and I like to use Primo for the white though, because for some reason Sculpty white does not respond in a black light. So that's something that a lot of you might not know. That's something that I like to put the figures in black lights sometimes, and they don't. When the white didn't respond with the Sculpty white, I was like, oh wow. I was like, so I tried the Primo one, and it lit up. You know, like you turn the black light on, and then the lights off, the other lights off, and it just lit up really good. So that's one reason I like Primo a little better. But I started with Sculpty, and that's kind of they work both together, so no matter what, you're gonna have. I usually have to pick some of those colors from both of them, because they seem to have different colors for them all. For instance, I can't get certain kinds of green in Sculpey, but I can get it in Primo, and vice versa. I have all this music in my head. This is just as bad as Super Mario Bros, isn't it? The music, it just stays in your head. Yeah. Get him. Oh. Got him. Gotta get a sack here. Here you go, you got it. That wasn't a sack though. You're getting better. You'll beat me one of these days. But yeah, there's for the 1-yard lines. I used that little square thing just to kind of measure them up. I know it's not perfect still, but I tried. Like they're never perfect, but you just try it. Like for your spacing, you want to have something to, so you don't have to guess about the space.
Oh, damn.
Then I just use the 3-inch blade to try to see if it was level across. Here we got a couple 1 yard lines gonna be right here, 2 more. And basically after that it's ready for the 2 figures. See, for the spacing I just put that square thing in between them. So I got the same space between the 1 yard line. Now it looks a little different on the left there on that first one because that's shadowed because my lighting. Sorry about my lighting. My lighting's not the greatest. It's got some shadows there. But here, about ready to bake the figure. Straighten that out. Now that you see, I pulled it up now, and once you pull them up, a lot of that stuff adjusts. But here it is. It's all baked, and there's the 2 figures. Blown up image of it, where they're running together. A couple Raiders running together. I think that's Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson. I'm pretty sure. Bo Jackson's leading the way. Bo knows Tecmo Bowl. But yeah, thanks for watching Blacktooth Claymation.